No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. So basically everything in this run key, bad, 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 bad. So I'll deal with that later. But just FYI, keep your own systems clean. Get rid of that kind of bad stuff. Let's talk about application crashes now. How many people have experienced an application crash in the last year? No, just kidding. Last day. Last hour. Anybody in the last hour? Well, okay. That was really cheap. Now, the thing is, in most cases, like Outlook, potentially, there's nothing you can do about it. It just is buggy software that crashes. Not saying it's Outlook. No, it's that. Anyway, anybody from the Office team in here? Yeah. I'm in Windows. We're allowed to do this. They do it to us too. So they blame it all on us. It's Windows' fault. So most cases you can't do anything about it. But really, what you always want to do is take a look at the crash, because it might be a third-party plugin that's infected the process and is causing it to crash, or it's loaded inside the process. If it's the process itself, it's the application itself, you're out of luck, unless it's LOB app and you know the developers inside, and then you can go harass them. If it's third-party commercial software, maybe you can contact them and see if there's a fix or an update for that application. But no need to troubleshoot anymore. The process crashed. Go find a new version or get rid of it. The question is, did something else cause it to crash? And that's where you need to do some crash dump analysis. The first step in crash dump analysis is finding the crash dump file. Whenever a process crashes in Windows, a crash dump file is generated. In other words, a dump is taken of the, and I just have to say that, it's always fun to say that, of the process address space. On pre-Vista systems, finding the dump was very easy. You just go into that we're sorry that we had a crash. We're sorry that you're inconvenienced. You click on the click here for information. You click on the click here for more technical information, and it'll show you the path to the dump file. So before dismissing that dialog, go find the dump file, and then you know where it is to find it. Now, on Windows Vista and higher, some things changed. First of all, we got so tired of apologizing, we don't do it anymore on that dialog. We just tell you the obvious, like your program has stopped working, like you couldn't tell. And then what we do is save the crash. But where does the crash go? We don't actually save a crash. We actually delete the crash after you dismiss that dialog. So don't dismiss that dialog. And then you can go find, then what you can do is attach to the process. So attach to the process, and you're looking at that process, kind of, kept in this zombie dead state, in a coma really. It's really dead, but it's still there. And then you can go and do some looking around its insides to see what might have caused the problem. The other thing you can do, another thing you can do is enable dump archiving on Vista and higher. And this is what I recommend you do with all your systems in your network, your client systems and your, if you're Win 7 or Vista, is to go set this registry key, HKey local machine software, Microsoft Windows, Windows error reporting, local dumps. All you have to do is create that key, and then what Windows is going to do is save dump files in the user profile directory of their crash dumps. And that way, if you're getting crashes on your system, you can go back and see if there's other ones, older ones, that can give you more information. Now that you know where the dump is, let's analyze the dump. That's the next step. And what you do is use WinDebug, the debugging tools for Windows debugger. And your goal here is to find the thread that has caused the problem. And the way that you're going to identify that is by looking at the thread stacks. Well, actually, let me show you. First thing you're going to do is to do a bang analyze -v. Actually, show you that on the live dump from somebody. But what you want to first do is see if the debugger will tell you what the problem is, and show you about the thread that caused the problem, the thread that actually tripped and caused the exception that made the process crash. You want to look at its stack, because it's most likely to have the third-party DLL, if it's responsible for the crash, there in its stack. What you want to do of course, at that point, if you find third-party DLLs in the stack, is go disable the extensions, go check for new versions of the extensions, or uninstall them altogether if it's really causing you a problem. So let's get right down to a case here. In this particular case, a user tried to open a Windows Media video file with Windows Media Player, consistently 100% reproducible. They open the file, any WMV, and they get this crash. Media Foundation Protected Pipeline exe has stopped working. So they open up the dump file. Let's go take a look at that dump file. So here we are, and the first thing he did was type, bang, analyze-v. That's my new signature, by the way. Bang, like, you know, Iron Chef or whatever it is. So instead of bam, it's bang. It's not Bing. You can't type Bing analyze-v. That doesn't work. But bang analyze-v. All right, that's not funny. I shouldn't do the bang thing. All right. Had to try it. It's Friday afternoon. Got to try it. Oh, yeah. Really flummoxed at this point. No laughter at that joke, and it's got me all thrown off. This is going to take a second because it's trying to resolve symbols for images that don't have symbols up on the public symbol server, and we've got this slow network connect. Everybody, please turn off your wireless again. So let's come back to here we go. You can see there's lots of third-party stuff loaded in here. All right, this will just take another 5 or so minutes, and then we'll be good. Wow, all right, it's taking longer than, of course, it does when you do it ahead of time. So why don't we just flip right to the slide, kind of like Julia Childs, as Aaron calls her. This is what you're going to see. Bang Analyze is going to spit out that it thinks the module responsible is, using its heuristics. It's going to find the faulting thread, do its magic, say, I think that EVR caused the problem, EVR.dll. Turns out EVR is a Microsoft DLL. He went and looks at the properties. It's not a third-party plugin. So at this point, it's like, all right, is there a problem with EVR.dll? This is one of those rare cases where, in fact, it was a Microsoft issue. So he does a Bing search for EVR monitor crash. Let's see what we find here. Well, there's a support article right here. Let's see if this applies. The video application crashes when you play a video if 5 or more monitors are attached to the computer. If you've got that many monitors attached to the computer, you know, it's like, I can't believe you thought that would work. Well, it turns out that he did have 5 computers attached to his, 5 monitors attached to his computer. What industry was he working in? Financial, right. This guy's tons of monitors across a bank there. So and he scrolls down, and there's a hotfix. So he goes and installs the hotfix, and voila, problem fixed. A few seconds of just, hey, let me just go take a look at the crash dump and see if there's anything, and was able to get right to the bottom of the problem. Our last section now. How many people experienced a blue screen crash in the last, say, yeah, you're raising your hands already. In the last 2 weeks, in the last 2 days, in the last day, since this morning, this afternoon, now. It's pretty depressing. Well, actually, I've got a collection of blue screens that you might have heard about that I can, of blue screens out in the wild, I call them. Just, obviously the person was going too fast. No, that's actually a picture. No, it's not. It's a blue screen. This guy tattooed it on himself. It's the real thing there. This is an elevator at Microsoft. That's an airport. At a gate? You think that's public, wait till you see this. Everybody see this one? How many people have seen this one before? Raise your hands. Oh, quite a few of you? Yeah. Who knows where this is from? It's the Beijing opening ceremony. So how many people watch that? Like 1 billion people? Not a great advertisement. This is in Times Square. It's also pretty public. It explains why these guys went out of business.